A celebration is taking place at Riegersburg Castle, the 8th wedding anniversary of the Prince and Princess of Liechtenstein. The royal couple are inviting a close circle of friends to mark the occasion. The Austrian Michelin-starred chef Hans-Peter Fink is to create the carefully crafted menu. All of the fresh ingredients are locally sourced. The noble guests will enjoy local Styrian delicacies in the Baroque hall beneath a cloud of blossoms. My name is Emanuel Liechtenstein. My wife Sonja and our family welcome you to Riegersburg Castle. Styria, known as the Green Heart of Austria, is famed for its culinary delicacies, especially its pumpkin seed oil. Riegersburg Castle towers majestically over the fertile volcanic landscape. 3 hectares of vineyards run along its slopes. 7 gates and 11 arches must be passed to reach the castle. In its almost 1,000-year history, it's a path that's seen a lot of visitors. The castle has belonged to my family since 1822, and I took it over in 2009. Prince Emanuel took charge of the castle after the death of his father. Here, tradition dictates that the firstborn son takes over, and I want to pass this on to the next generation. The Liechtenstein dynasty belongs to one of the oldest aristocratic houses in Europe. Prince Emanuel's family lives in Austria.
Oh, thank you, darling.
The young family recently moved to a new home at the foot of the castle, a life marked by the traditional and the modern.
Der romantische Gedanke, in der Burg zu leben, ist, glaube ich, sobald...
The romantic notion of living in a castle is over as soon as the weather gets bad. In the winter, it gets unbearably cold, and in the summer, there are, thank goodness, a lot of tourists up there. So either you're freezing or you have very little peace. I'd say it was a logical move to build a home down here.
Der logische Schluss, würde ich sagen, schon hier unten zu bauen.
Yes, we've known this spot for a long time and came here a lot. We chose it and thought it would be nice to live here and always see the castle.
The prince and the starred chef are mulling over the menu for the anniversary celebration with a glass of the castle wine. How is it? A Pinot Blanco? I like it. Cheers. We thought we'd ask the ladies about the main course. I think so. Very democratic. It's always best to have the ladies on side. Very wise. So, no wild boar? I'd love to, but we can't always have our way.
The children are in bed, sleeping, I hope. I went for a walk in the forest last week with the children, and we went to look at the neighbour's animals, and he had poultry.
I wouldn't have a problem with guinea fowl or Styrian chicken. I don't know it. The taste is a cross between farm chicken and pheasant. I recommend it, yes.
That sounds good.
Sounds good. To the guinea fowl. The chef wants to inspect the free-range Riegersburg geese himself. Farmer Josef Keiner rears old types of poultry that used to be common at any Styrian farm. Oh, they're ready. Wonderful, unbelievable. They're beautiful. I can see that these are very happy animals. You can tell by the way it's looking. Wonderful, Franz. Masterpieces.
Meisterstücke kommen von dir.
It's not long before the beautiful animals are in the kitchen. As my wife and I were both at the wedding, it's a real pleasure to be asked to cook for the anniversary dinner. I'm very, very happy to do it. As I grew up here and the Castle Mount was my playground, it makes me even happier to create a beautiful menu to be served in the hall. We thought up something special, not for the everyday. Styrian truffle. These are black glazed walnuts and complement poultry, game and cheese. They are a delicacy and made by Hans-Peter Fink himself. It's an elaborate and time-consuming process. Why am I putting them under the skin? Very simple, because feelings go under the skin too. And so I want the flavor to come from under the skin, a pure, nutty taste. I saw this done in France with truffles, and I thought it'd be great to do it with the black nut. Smells delicious. The hot cedar wood will add a smoky flavor to the meat, which will be balanced out by the fresh garden herbs. Guinea fowl has a great flavor, almost like pheasant, but still has very soft meat, which is better for the ladies and is a pleasure to eat. It will be served in the great hall upstairs and will be an occasion to dish it up and make the event even more special. Up in the castle, Princess Sonja is making sure the Great Hall is in a good state to receive guests.
Look at this, Andreas. Such a big room for 8 people. Do you think you can manage it?
Andreas Stern, the most prized Austrian florist, designed the flower arrangement for the wedding reception in the famous hall. He knows exactly what he wants to do. It's wonderful, Sonja. I can imagine it. We'll have a cloud of blossom under which the guests will sit. It will be a wonderful experience for them. It will be like a new space that will make everything soft and impressive.
I'm sure it will be fantastic.
Andreas's designs will also be featured in the garden. Riegersburg Castle puts every visitor under its spell. It's true. I can't go 2 weeks without seeing my castle. I get very sad and need to see a picture of it. I like it. I like seeing it. I have no problem being here every day. A permanent exhibition takes the visitors through the rich history of the castle. One of its darkest chapters was Styria's witch hunt in the 17th century. Maintaining a castle of this size is an undertaking that requires complete dedication. Of course, it's a life's work. You're born into it and grow up with it, and it fills you up. It gives me great joy, I have to say. I think that all Riegersburgers who live in this area consider it as their castle. People are happy when they see it. It's a landmark, it's a sign of home. And when you go away and people ask you where you're from, you say you're a Riegersburger. For a long time, the preservation of the castle was in the hands of Princess Anne-Marie, Emanuel's mother.
Look what I spotted. Water. I don't know. I fear it's coming from the ceiling. You can't see anything, but one should check it out. There's always something with a castle. Something, somewhere, and you don't know how or where from. It was my world for decades, and it still is in a way because you can't just give it up. It doesn't happen that quickly. But I know I have successors now. Next to me is my daughter-in-law. She's the one I turn to. You talk about the castle from woman to woman. The castle, die Burg, it's feminine too, isn't it?
Taking care of a castle is like caring for a diva, in all her moods and with all her surprises. It's coming in on this side in the White Hall. Yes. Where do you think the hole is? I can't picture it. Prince Emanuel and his caretaker are already on the hunt for the cause of the leak. What's just been done, it's all new, that can't be it. The roof was done 5 to 6 years ago, so this part should be fine. But it still seems to have a leak. How many square meters did we roof? 6,000? It had to be partly done with helicopters, as getting the materials up here is incredibly hard. And quite a bit of water has come through. Just another day at the castle. I'm not that relaxed about this. Maybe I just need to get older and wiser. At home, in his 400-year-old courtyard, the florist Andreas is working on the details of the decorations.
It's your collection we could use.
Baroness Isabel Kellersberg is helping him. She works as an events manager, and the two are a well-oiled team. It's so pretty, she'll be seeing it for the first time.
We're surprising her with pink and purple.
Exactly.
Hello. Hi, Sonja. How cozy you have it here. We've been waiting for you. We have lots of wonderful things which we want to show you. I'm not sure whether you know his collection yet. He's created his own crockery. What porcelain is it?
It's Herend.
I can imagine the pink and the violet would be perfect.
Alongside the fine Hungarian porcelain, there will be a great floral display. Andreas already has a vision of what he wants it to look like. What makes it so special for the guest is that the decoration happens above their heads and gives them a unique and unforgettable experience. The guests will sit under a cloud of blossom. I can imagine it.
Are you excited? Yes! So! It's going to be beautiful.
I can't wait either. The Baroness and the Princess are close friends. Isabel Kellersberg is from a Styrian noble family and loves nothing more than organizing events like tomorrow. A perfectionist, she pays attention to every detail.
Hi, Christoph. Good that you're there. I have a small problem. The mount on a lance is missing. Can I show you?
Yes, let's go together.
Look, this should go on here. The others are fine, but something's missing here.
Yeah, we've got some iron in the fire. I think we can make it.
Okay, so you'll do something.
We'll get it done. There has been a blacksmith at the castle for several years. He makes knives and traditional weapons, so a mount should be no problem. Tomorrow, the castle will be festively lit. Dr. Prinz Emanuel von und zu Liechtenstein is also a practicing doctor, yet still manages to find time for his hobby, climbing. Something his beloved castle can offer him too. We've been climbing the castle mount for 5 years now, and it's become a great hobby and passion of mine. I think it's a great sport out here in nature, with the only natural rock for about 60 kilometers. So it's become very popular, which is wonderful and fills my time in a great way. It's a wonderful feeling, standing up here and looking out over the landscape. Sharing it with good friends is even better. The prince and his trainer, Charlie Fostner, have become good friends. His business, Naturburg, has rented a part of the mount and offers climbing courses for stressed managers. If I'm climbing right by the castle, then I can't switch off completely. Of course, there'll be a roof tile or a hook lying around, and I'll think, where did that come from? But it does give you some distance from the everyday. Two of the climbing routes are named after the sons of the prince, Leopold and Heinrich. The castle is our life. I don't consider it as a burden. I don't consider it as a job. I see it as a matter of course that you look after it and take joy in it. You live it.
This will be the finest strudel.
The best anniversary present possible. The children are helping bake the apple strudel. Their grandmother, Princess Anne-Marie, and Chef Sissi are allowed to help.
Sissi is our cook and our menu expert and has this whole place under control. We never know how many people will be there. It all depends on the weather. She's a genius. She really is great. Up there, it's like an energy source. Without it, I love the castle, which is why it's never too much work for me. What did Sissi add? Flour, eggs? Yes, and? And the most important. Salt?
The two young princes are taking the strudel very seriously.
It's the best and the most fantastic thing you could wish for. The healthy grandchildren, happy children, pleasant and quiet because their mother is so loving. And I think that's the most wonderful thing for a grandmother, to be able to enjoy that.
Finally, the two young cooks and their little sister get to taste the ingredients. Chef Sissi is tending to the unique strudel pastry.
Love is important for strudel. It's not possible without it. It doesn't matter where you make it, you need space.
It's the very first time the two young princes get to see apple strudel being made. Now, skill and timing are of the essence.
Yes, look, you're doing very well. The dough has to be lukewarm. As soon as it's cold, it breaks. That's why it has to be quick. The longer it takes, the more brittle it becomes. Help! A hole!
Ein Loch. Da kleben wir das Loch zu.
We'll stick it shut.
Also kein Loch mehr machen, wenn ihr
No more holes if you can help it. Now we're going to put it over the corner. One used to say that the pastry has to be so thin that you can read a newspaper through it. I only discovered through Sissi what an art form it was. I never thought about apple strudel. You just eat it, don't you? And then Sissi showed us up in the castle, and we were all incredulous that it has to be so thin.
Princess Sonja can't resist writing the menus for dinner by hand.
I'm making the most of a quiet moment. Whilst the kids are occupied, I haven't written with a quill and ink for some time. I'm enjoying being a little creative again.
Und ich freue mich jetzt wirklich, endlich wieder mal ein bisschen kreativ zu sein.
The apple strudel is now entering a critical phase.
Hände in die Höhe.
Hands in the air. No one touched the apple strudel.
Cinnamon and sugar is added to the grated apple. The toasted golden breadcrumbs are sprinkled over separately. They bind the juices. Rolling the pastry is the trickiest part, best done with a special strudel cloth. And the strudel lands in the baking tray safely.
Only we can do that. Yes, exactly.
Behind the thick castle walls, the decorations are being tended to.
I'll put this here.
Yes, it's nice when it bunches together to make clouds.
How did you think of this colour? It's fantastic.
It's following on from the classic Rococo. It's fairy tale-esque.
Did you look at the frescoes?
Yes, the rooms definitely inspire the creations. That's what makes this so exciting.
It's perfect for the occasion. Are those bellflowers?
Baroness Kellersberg and Andreas Stern are adding the finishing touches to the royal blossoming wonder.
The peony, look, it's still closed. Will it bloom by the evening?
Yes, they'll open by the evening. There'll be a wonderful Baroque shape and the scent will be really strong.
Like this one. Lovely.
Andreas Stern likes to combine the simple with the extravagant, the pure with the sensual, and has succeeded in turning the hall into something out of a fairy tale. Now we're at the dessert. I've made a jelly out of sparkling wine. I take a mature sparkling wine, add a little rose water, rose petals, and fresh berries.
Rosenblüten, ja, und frische Beeren.
The special thing is that when you see the rose blossoms, they don't overpower it, but support the sparkling wine and create a freshness in the mouth.
Sehr, sehr wohlige Weise und machen auch den Gaumen frisch. Und am Ende da.
And at the end, we add Waldmeister ice cream. That's the kick on top, ice cold and a refreshing dessert. The blossom cloud is floating over the table. Fresh sage leaves add an extra touch of scent, and the bow motif can be seen over the entire banqueting table.
Andreas, you are unique. Amazing.
Sonja, I'm so happy you like it.
You've breathed new life into the White Hall.
Just one thing missing.
How would you put them down?
I think I'd let them fall on the table,
That's a good idea.
as if the wind had swept them in. Is that your writing?
Yes, I tried.
Even the smallest details are simple yet opulent. The twigs from outside are coloured in gold. The starter is being prepared in the Villa Liechtenstein. The volcano ham is a regional delicacy, as are the Paradeiser, the local name for tomatoes. Even the melons are Styrian. I think the mature ham goes incredibly well with such young, fresh tomatoes, the melon and the salad. I always say you eat with your eyes. This blossom has a royal touch, the royal blue touch, the potage blossom. It's inspired me and will go on top. Up in the castle, everything is running smoothly.
Do you remember the style you made for my wedding? That was 8 years ago. Yes, but you remember, you put roses in my hair. I thought it was beautiful. But today we're doing something different, a little more casual, very natural.
Princess Sonja is a great fan of the renowned stylist. She's come straight from a Prada fashion show. The banqueting table is ready for the evening. A surprise almost came too late. Baroness Kellersberg has organized for a castle falcon to preside over the evening. Prince Emanuel leads the small circle of guests up to the castle. Only his brother, the diplomat, is unable to attend. Tonight, the owners can have Riegersburg Castle all to themselves. The noble guests have come from across Austria and the Principality of Lichtenstein. To a happy 8th anniversary. To our health. Unbelievably beautiful. I have to say, Andreas is an artist, absolutely.
Also ich muss sagen, der Andreas
Ein Künstler, absolut.
The Whitehall has been restored to its former glory. And the regional feast boasts all the Styrian culinary highlights. A menu for demanding appetites, refined by the castle wine. Pinot Blanco, Micheli Baste, grown on the estate. Cheers. The chef's son has been put in charge of carving the guinea fowl. The master prefers to stay behind the scenes. The black walnuts lend the tender birds an almost chocolatey flavour. The crowning finish is the small prince's homemade apple strudel and the cool rose blossom jelly served with the tangy ice cream.
Ja, witzig.